Hello gamer. Today I'll show you how to fix your broken Logitech G432 headphones simply by replacing them with a new cable, so you can get back in the game. As you can see, the existing cable is broken, thanks to my grandmother's snake. Don't worry, the snake is alive, which can't be said for the headphone cable. To make this repair, you will need to buy any 3.5mm 4-pole aux cable, which we will use to replace the damaged wire. The link to the cable is in the video description. You will also need to find a soldering kit, multimeter and various tools in your grandmother's garage. Put the new cable with the spare length next to the old cable and run it along the old cable. To know how long you need the new cable, you can of course make the new cable longer or shorter, as this will have no effect on the quality of the headphones sound. Choose the length you find comfortable. Once you know the length of the cable, cut the extra length off the new cable. The next step is to remove the ear pad cushion on the side where the cable is inserted. To remove the ear pad, you have to put your finger behind the pad from the inside and slowly pull off the ear cup. Then you have to unscrew all 4 screws, one of them is hidden under the tape. Once you have unscrewed all the screws, carefully open the headphone housing, so as not to break any of the wires. Here is also the whole color wiring for these headphones. The next step is to cut off the damaged original wire. Now I think the hardest part of the repair is to get the old wire out of this rubber cable holder, so that the new wire can run through it. You can use different tools, but the easiest way is with a drill. Once the rubber holder has been cleaned of the old cable, then the new cable has to be pushed through it. This also requires patience. Now you need to remove the cable outer jacket, but do this carefully so as not to damage the wires inside. Divide all the existing wires by color, depending on the wire they can be between 4 and 6 wires. While the soldering iron is heating, cut a small length of heat shrink tubing and stretch it wider with a plier to fit over the top of the cable rubber holder. The next step is to tin all the wires, so they can be checked with a multimeter and are easier to solder. My cable has 4 wires, red, green, blue and silver. As cable manufacturers do not follow the one-color wiring standard, you have to use a multimeter to find out which color wire is left, right, ground and mic. How to use the multimeter can be found in the video linked in the video description. In my case, the silver color wire is ground for mic and speakers. Green wire left plus, blue right plus and red plus for mic. The next step is to unsolder all the old wires from the board, so that the contacts stay clean and there is no short circuit between them. Since the original cable had 6 wires, take 1 wire from the old cable, which we will use as a jumper wire to connect the microphone ground to the speaker ground. Tin this wire, then solder this jumper wire to the left minus contact. Take the new cable and solder the wires in sequence. The first one is the right plus contact. This means you have to solder blue wire to the board. Then solder right minus or ground, which is common to both channels and the mic. In my case, ground wire is a silver color, which I soldered to the right minus contact. Then follows the left plus, which is the green color wire. Then you solder the microphone plus, which is the red color wire, and finally you solder the jumper wire from the left minus contact to the mic minus contact. The result should be as the following. In your case, the color of the wires may differ, so they should always be checked with a multimeter. To make the wires last longer, you can stick a small piece of insulating tape over the top to hold the wires in place and prevent short circuits. Then slide the rubber cable holder, so that when you put it into the headphone body, the wires are not ripped off, but there is a slight possibility of movement. Once you have found the perfect place for the rubber holder, apply superglue to the cable and slide the holder part on top of the glue. Apply a little superglue behind it. Then screw the headphone housing back on and put the earpads cushion back on. If you have trouble putting it back on, check out the separate video on Logitech G432 earpads replacement video. Then slide the heat shrink tubing you prepared earlier onto the rubber cable holder and attach it, but be careful not to damage the earpad. If you are afraid, you can do this before you put the earpads cushion back on. Here's the result, like new, or even better. We've fixed the Logitech headphones for a few bucks and we can get back to gaming. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to post them below this video. Good luck and we'll see you in other repair videos.